introduced Boolean function and binary decision diagram in last video. This video, I'll explain in detail how to get the binary decision diagrams given the Boolean function. We use this function as an example. For this function, there are two variables. We use nodes, this circle, representing variables in our diagrams. Red lines are 0, blue lines are 1. We use lines to connect two nodes according to their relationship. We keep connecting variables until we finally arrive at the end leaves, the output 0 or 1. Specifically, for this Boolean function, if input is 1, 1, the output is 1, that's the end leaf 1. First variable being 0 and second variable being 1 yields the same result. Other cases lead to 0. That's the end leaf 0. These are the relationship we followed to construct this diagram. The path from the first node to the following nodes corresponding to an assignment of 0 or 1 to the variables and finally to the leaves, which are the output. And we stated in last video, this is a binary decision tree because we haven't reduced it. When we say binary decision diagram, we usually mean reduced order binary decision diagram. To get this, we need to apply two rules. The first rule is merge equivalent leaves first, then merge isomorphic nodes. That is, we combine the same leaves, then combine the identical nodes. The second rule means eliminate redundant nodes. Finally, we have a reduced order binary decision diagram. Before we get Kolmogorov complexity, I hope to briefly introduce Turing machine. What is a Turing machine? A Turing machine is an abstract mathematical model of computation that can manipulate symbols on a strip of tape according to some rules. It can simulate any computer algorithm. A Turing machine consists of a tape divided into cells. Each tape cell can contain a 0, a 1, or a blank. A head can read and write symbols on the tape and move the tape left and right, one cell at a time. At time 0, the head is on a distinguished cell on the tape called the star cell, and all cells are blank except for a contiguous finite sequence of cells following the star cell, which contains zeros and ones. A finite table of rules that given the state the machine is currently in and the input the head is reading tells the machine what to do next. That is the action. The rules have format. Action is the next operation to be executed. The action includes erase or write a symbol, move the head right or left or stay, assume the same or a new state as prescribed. We usually use a 5 or 4 element tuple to describe all kinds of actions. We can find a Turing machine that do the identical mapping from the input to the output as a Boolean function. The shortest code length among this Turing machine is a measure of the complexity of this Boolean function. Now, let's connect Turing machine with a binary decision diagram. To execute a function, we begin with the top node. That's a head at the star cell, the current state. What it reads is the input. It chooses which successor to go according to the input of this variable, 0 or 1, red or blue line. This is the action. It goes to the next node, the next state, same for all the following nodes, until we arrive at one of the bottom leaves, 0 or 1, the output. We can use a sequence of rules to describe this procedure in each node. There are 4 elements in each rule. If we have B nodes, we have these much rules, as there are 2 rules associated with each node and 1 for each box. To describe a rule, we need to distinguish between our nodes, the 2 button boxes, the end state, and 5 actions. As we mentioned, depending on what kind of model we assume for the Turing machine, the action could be a 5 or 4 element tuple. We use a 5 element tuple here. All this requires these many bits to be distinguished, as they are 4 elements in one room. So in total, we need this bit-long program to represent a function, which is exactly a Kolmogorov complexity. This is how we obtain the uncomputable Kolmogorov complexity. In our quantum machine learning project, our ultimate purpose is to study the minimum computational resources needed to learn that function. We hope to find out the relationship between the quantum resources and the complexity of the function. So we actually don't really need the exact Kolmogorov complexity. We need a good approximation instead, and they are relevant papers proving this approximation is sufficiently good.